That was almost bad. The Idoing head unit. We are starting this video off just like we do every other Idoing head unit install because I freaking love these things, dude. These are my favorite head units, and if you guys clicked on this video, you clicked on it for a reason. I've been kind of getting away from the how-to videos, but in this case, this one's worth it. If you guys aren't already subscribed to the channel, go click that subscribe button right now. And if you are subscribed, then you know what car this is. This is the car that started everything for me on this channel. It's the first car I pulled an engine on. It's actually the first car I ever put a head unit in my life. So I'm interested to see how 16-year-old me wired the head unit into this car. It's just got a regular Pioneer double-din head unit, and today we are going to be installing the Idoing, technically double-din head unit, but this thing is a freaking flat screen TV. To kick off this video, we're gonna get this thing unboxed. And I absolutely love unboxing these head units because you always get new trim tools. And you can never have enough trim tools. They always have super good packaging, lots of foam covering everything. They always come with all the wiring harnesses that you need. And look at that, first bag I grabbed, guess what's in it? Trim tool number 1 and trim tool number 2. I told you guys they would be in there. Next, we got all the harnesses that you need to install this thing, including a bunch of extras that we're probably not gonna use. And then the head unit itself, which looks like it's already installed on the dash kit. I'm curious what color the dash trim is on their trim kit. It is all black, which is exactly what I wanted, but eventually I am going to pull this thing back out of the car and we're gonna wrap all of this trim in carbon fiber wrap because that's the way the rest of the interior is. But for now, I'm on a bit of a time crunch to get this thing installed because it's December right now, there's snow on the ground, and this car's going into storage. So I had to get this head unit in before the end of the season, and I missed that marker by a long shot, but we're getting it in now, and then we're gonna rewrap it when we pull the car out of storage. Now, I have already installed a head unit in one of these cars, so I should be able to look at these harnesses and tell you which ones you need. This harness here with the big long bar piece is a 5G modem for you to run Wi-Fi on the head unit, which we're not using. So all the harnesses I'm not using are going over there. We got a harness for an SD card, not using that. We have the harness for all of the pre-outs, which we will not be using because we're not running an aftermarket amp or subs. We have the harness with the 2 USB cables, which we will be using. We have the mic, which, if I'm being honest with you guys, Idoing did send this head unit out to me, but these mics are not good. Every single Idoing head unit that I've ever installed, there's a little bit of echo on the mic when you use their mic. So I found when I use a Pioneer or Kenwood head unit mic, it tends to sound better, for one. And for two, these head units actually have a little mic right on the top corner of the screen. So if this screen is close enough to your driver's view, you don't need to run the whole mic. You can just use the mic right off the screen, which saves a ton of time on the install. Next piece is our GPS right here. I'm also not gonna be using this because it's 2025 and everybody uses Apple CarPlay now. So my phone's always hooked up to Apple CarPlay. It goes off the location of my phone when I'm driving. Next harness is the single USB. You use this one for CarLink, as they call it, or in other words, Apple CarPlay. Then this one right here is gonna be our power antenna. This is gonna be our harness for our park brake switch and for the mic. So we might use this one, we might not, we're gonna see. And then this harness here you would install if you had a backup camera or an automatic antenna, or if you're running an amp, there's an amp wire on here. Then one thing that I am a little bit confused by is we don't have a plug and play harness that plugs into the car, which doesn't make any sense. These head units always come with a harness that plugs into the car, and that harness is supposed to plug into right here. We don't have one, and this box is empty. I don't even think we can install it. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. I have made so many of these Idoing install videos and you guys seem to love them and you guys seem to love these head units, but there's also people in the comments that say the head unit didn't come with a factory harness or Idoing's customer service sucks and all that. It is 4:30 in the afternoon, which means in China, because that's where these head units come from, it's 7:59 a.m. I guess that's a regular start to a work day, but they just responded, no problem. As soon as I messaged them, they said, hi, it's on the stereo backside. We have built in the stock stereo adapter, which I am assuming means that this freaking aftermarket head unit plugs directly into the factory wires on the car. They built it into the stereo, which if that's true, that's nuts. I've never seen a head unit company do that in my life. Pioneer, Kenwood, none of those big companies, JVC, never seen them do it. First things first, we're starting on the passenger side of the car. Use Idoing's provided trim tool. Pop this panel off. And we're gonna take this Phillips screw out on the far right side. Now we're gonna pop this panel off, which literally takes the whole faceplate off that's securing the head unit, other than one clip over here, which in that case, I just pop the cluster pillar off, and then this whole thing will come off in one go. Now, the reason that I took all of this off is because A, it's easy. It took me 5 seconds. And B, then we have access to all the wiring underneath. There's just more room. So I take this whole panel off. However, I do think that you're able to just pop this single trim panel assembly off on its own and then plop the Idoing one right in. So if you want to save yourself the extra effort that I just went through to take all this off, then just pop that one out individually. Now, if you guys take a peek inside of here, there is 4 Phillips screws holding the head unit on. This is obviously my aftermarket Pioneer head unit, but the factory head unit also has 4 screws holding it on. So we're gonna get those removed, and then this whole head unit should come out. It's that easy. Once you get all 4 screws pulled out, you can remove the head unit, and now we get to see how 16-year-old Daniel wired a head unit for the first time. That looks extremely clean. There's no way. It's all taped up nice. Damn. I even used one of the plug-and-play connectors. Antenna wire, and then this looks like a park brake wire, which we're gonna snip because I don't need it. Before we even get any further, I need to see what this looks like, first of all, because that looks freaking sick. Second of all, I need to see if this actually plugs in, because I am in heavy disbelief right now that there's an aftermarket head unit company that builds a head unit that literally just plugs into the car. There is no freaking way, dude. Oh my God, it does. Dude, it plugs into the car. What about this? This one's the steering wheel controls. Does this plug in too? What? No way. Oh, maybe that one doesn't. It does! That freaking plugs in too. No way, dude. This is crazy. Then this is the factory antenna adapter, which I'm pretty sure will just connect to the head unit too. Oh my gosh, it does. We don't even need an antenna adapter. And then my Pioneer mic wire will plug into our connector here that says mic. Oh, the Idoing one's slightly bigger. Well, looks like we're pulling our Pioneer mic out then. And I don't want to have a mic wire in this car anymore. So we're just gonna run straight off of the mic that's on the side of the screen. So if you have a factory head unit in one of these cars, you can literally unplug it. You get this Idoing head unit, plug it into all the factory wires and put it in the car. And it's that easy. That is insane. They all just unplug, including the antenna. It all just works. And then the vents, you can just pop off in 2 seconds. And then I bet you these match up perfect and just pop right in. No way. No freaking way, dude. This is the easiest install I've ever done in my life. All we're gonna do, just to be sure though, because there is no screws holding in the Idoing head unit, it's just the clips. We're gonna transfer over all of these factory clips into the Idoing head unit because it doesn't have them, which I'm pretty sure you can even just use their trim tool that they gave you and just pop them off, and we'll see how easy they click on. Like a glove. This is the easiest install I've ever done in my life. So before we actually get the head unit in, I'm gonna get these USB cables run because it's always nice to have USB cables just sitting in the glove box for people to charge their phones while they're in the passenger seat, or to do wired CarPlay if you need to. So I'm just gonna feed this back there and follow the wire that I already have running. So the best way that I pull these USB cables through is I already have the USB cable run to the glove box. I just taped both of them to this end, and we're just gonna pull it through the exact same way that I ran it before, and just like that, now we have 3 USB cables in the glove box, and the connectors are right here. Super easy. So now this is the way that this wiring sits from factory. You have your main connector here, your steering wheel controls connector here. This says amp on it. I think this is for the Sport Tech version when they have an amp. I don't think that this car has a factory amplifier. If you guys know, leave it in the comments down below, because I actually haven't looked at the wiring diagram for this car yet. But then the other 2 connectors connectors we have here are for each of our USB cables. And then these connectors are for that lower trim piece. That's it. No soldering, no crimp connectors, nothing. All of this plugs directly into the back of the Idoing head unit. All we had to do to install this, if there was a factory radio in there, is unplug it, run the USB wires to the glove box, transfer the vent over to this, and then plug it in. And there's no screws or nothing to put it in. We're just gonna plug it into those connectors and pop it onto the dash. That's simple. But first, we do need to install that lower trim piece before we put this on. This is how simple of an install this would have been if you guys just pop the factory trim piece off, take your 4 screws out that hold the head unit. Now you're gonna take this head unit, transfer the vent trim inside of it, and then we just plug it right into the car. The only thing that makes this hard is from factory, they don't give you much wire to work with. And then our 2 USB connectors plug in on the back, and then our antenna wire, which is also the factory antenna, goes right into the head unit. And once all that's plugged in, all into the factory wires, take the head unit, set it into place, and watch how crisp this is gonna be. Hell yeah. Nice and solid. Now we gotta do the ceremonial screen protector pull. Oh man, that looks good. Look at how big this screen is, dude. All right, we gotta turn the key on and see what this looks like. And she's turning on. So are the wipers and everything else. The good old Idoing head unit, fellas. I love these things. They're all the same. I already know how all the functionalities work. Sound works, it's coming through the speakers. First thing first, we're gonna go to Bluetooth and we are going to hit search and we're gonna find this thing on my phone. We'll show you guys how easy this really is. SYU Android, click on that. You can see now pairable devices, my phone popped up. And another thing you always got to look at is the pairing password is 0000. Just double check that because the pairing password comes up on your phone, 0000 pair, and just like that, our phone is paired. So quick and easy. Now let's see if this one has any apps pre-downloaded on it. They usually do. It's got CarBitLink, which is Android Auto. It's got CarLink 2.0, which is Apple CarPlay. It's got the Play Store. It's got the sync for the steering wheel controls, and it's just got YouTube installed on it. Anything else you can just install in the Play Store though. So what I want to do first is make sure the steering wheel controls work, because that was straight up plug and play, and I have never had steering wheel controls in this car. So all you do is you press your button on the steering wheel. So for instance, right now, I'm pressing the volume up button. And as you press it, the screen should flicker for the function that you're learning. As you can see, as I'm pressing that button, the screen is actually flickering. So at the same time I press volume up, I'm gonna select the volume up function, which is right in the middle of the screen, but I need 2 hands to do it. Within 30 seconds, I have every single steering wheel control function working on this head unit, and we just plug this thing in. I had a Pioneer head unit in this car, and I didn't want to buy the adapter, so I've never had steering wheel controls in this car. Now, within 30 seconds, you'll hear the chime. As you see, I'm not even touching the screen, and we're turning up the volume with our steering wheel controls. I can even mute the volume with the steering wheel controls, which is this mute button right here. So I said volume up, volume down, mute. Mode just takes you straight to the home page, and then this is next song, and that's previous song. And like I said, there's so many other options you can select on here. You can even make one be a mic for if you're voice texting or something like that. You can make it be FM radio settings, answer phone call. There's so many different options and they're fully customizable. But what I use the most is CarLink 2.0, which is the Apple CarPlay on these head units, and it's wireless. So I just clicked it and my phone is already saying finish setting up CarPlay. So right when I open my phone, it says connect to Apple CarPlay. We're gonna hit connect. And then the screen says verification approved, and it already popped into CarPlay before I could even finish reading verification approved. Now it's standard Apple CarPlay. Oh, we even have our Type S LED app in here. What? I could make presets and I could change my LED lights from my head unit. That is so sick. I gotta set that up, but I gotta go in the app and set it up on my phone. That is so cool. YouTube music, WhatsApp, but we're gonna go to our music and we're just gonna play any song. Hell yeah. There isn't a dial on this head unit, which I'm a big fan of the dial, but my Pioneer didn't want to have one anyways, and we have the steering wheel control buttons. Oh yeah, it sounds good too. And now another thing that I always do with these head units just to make sure that everything's functioning properly is I'll go to the equalizer, I will play a song, and then I'll go to field and I'll move it around to each speaker. So that's all the way at the right front, and it's only coming out of that right front speaker. I'll go to the left, no, it's only coming out of this speaker. We'll go to left rear, which is working, and then right right rear, it's all perfect. And you can adjust everything, your bass, your surround sound. You can power up each speaker individually more than the other. So you can put more wattage to the left front speaker than the rest, or put more bass in the speaker. It is fully customizable, and that's what I love about these head units. It's got Bluetooth, it's got radio, it's got Google. You can even download Rogers on here. You can watch the hockey games while you're driving, which I wouldn't advise, but you can do it all with these head units, man. And the other bonus about it is look at how good it looks on the dash. It's massive. It modernizes the car. The only thing I will say that I wish about this is that it did have screws mounting it, so it's a little bit more secure. I've seen some videos of some high horsepower Subarus literally shoot this thing right out the dash when they floor it. So we'll see how this holds up at 500 horsepower. And then I gotta show you this because of how cool this is. With the Type S LEDs or underglow in your car, I've had these in here since I was like 16 years old. I just picked purple as a color. I'm gonna save the preset as purple. I'm gonna hit save. And as you guys can see on the screen here, I already saved red and prism. If I go back, you'll see there's an option for purple now. I click that, they're purple. And then watch this. We're gonna click red from my head unit, so I don't even need to take my phone out. And as you can see, it switched my underglow inside the car to red. And then I have another preset at prism, so I can click that and then they will start alternating colors. That is so cool. All from the display on my head unit. Now, on top of that, there is so many other cool customizable features that you can install on these head units. For example, on my Honda, I have the Hondata app on the head unit, so I can watch all my gauges, boost, AFR, IATs, map pressure, MAF readings, literally anything straight from my head unit. And I get so many messages from you guys all the time about these head units in the comments, so I will link it in the description down below if you guys want to get your own. I will also have the link for you guys to purchase this in the first pinned comment in the comment section down below. So make sure you guys go support Idoing and pick them up because one, they're a good product. Two, they have always supported this channel because I install one of these head units in every single one of the builds. As you guys saw in this video, it plugged into the factory freaking connectors in the car. I still can't get over that. And if you guys are new to the channel, this is Stacy, the 500 horsepower STI hatchback, which is the first car that I ever built on the channel. This thing's on a full custom rotated turbo setup, makes around 520 wheel, and it absolutely rips. This is the first car that started my YouTube channel. This is the first car that I learned everything about cars on. So this is the true OG of this channel. And the coolest part about this video that absolutely warms my heart is that Idoing was the first company that ever reached out and wanted to help out with the channel and send me some products for the builds. And it's just so cool that now this has come full circle and I installed one of their head units into the OG car for this channel. And the bonus about this now, the old Pioneer head unit that was in this car is now going in the 350Z drift car that we just built, so we can pump some tunes while we're drifting. But that's gonna be it for this video, you guys. I wanna keep it as short and sweet as possible, just to simply show you guys how good of a quality product Idoing actually is. In my opinion, a lot of the other Chinese companies out there are unmatched when it comes to quality and R&D and making changes as time goes on and always improving their design on every single head unit they build. The reason I was so mind blown about it plugging right in is because none of my old Idoing head units have done that. So that just shows that they are constantly improving and developing over time. So that's gonna be it for this video, boys. I hope this video helped you guys out and it convinced you to finally hit that purchase button on your Idoing head unit for your 08 to 14 STI or WRX hatchback. Peace out, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Go build something cool.